This is a kayaking trip from Purton to Sharpness, taking in some stunning views of the Severn Estuary and the Severn Bridges. It's a canal trip suitable for kayaks, open canoes and stand-up paddleboards, for beginners through to expert. Takes a couple of hours to paddle, and the inspiration to do it was taken from the British Canoeing guide. The link is in the description. It's a really gentle paddle on easy flat water with plenty of stop-off points for snacks and lunch. It starts in the car park at Purton. It's a small car park that does get full easily. There is a pontoon for launching and then a couple of low bridges to navigate before the main paddling begins. Okay, here we go. I'm paddling a Rockhopper RH340. There are some permanent boat moorings along the first stretch. When the canal is busier, you will need to watch out for other boats and take the necessary avoidance action. Remember to pass oncoming boats on the right and keep as far away from the boats as you can. There are some picturesque cottages on the opposite side of the canal. Here I am at the first stop point, not far from the start, and it has access to the viewing area for the ship's graveyard. Getting in and out of your kayak is the most likely place to tip in, so extra care is needed, even if it isn't very elegant. I'm keeping balanced as I transfer weight to the pontoon and then keeping the kayak near the pontoon using my foot and then my hand. I don't want it to drift away. This is a brilliant spot to stop for snacks. There's a picnic bench and it overlooks the canal. Behind the bench is the ship's graveyard and there are footpaths leading out onto the viewpoints. On the edge of the estuary are a number of abandoned barges that have been rammed into the shore. Their function is to reinforce the banks and reduce the erosion caused by the tidal drift in and out of the estuary. It was really windy when I paddled on this day. A railway line runs on the opposite bank of the estuary. Back on the canal, and I'm approaching the now collapsed Severn Railway Bridge. You can see the remains of the structural pillars that used to hold the main spans of the bridge. In 1960, two river barges collided with the pillars in the estuary, which then collapsed the spans holding the railway line. The bridge remained damaged for a further year, and it was decided it was uneconomical to repair the bridge. It was completely demolished in 1970, and outside of the pillars, nothing remains of the bridge. Moving on, and this is entering the Basin at Sharpness. There are plenty of boats here as it's a popular spot. It's a little easier to get out here, but no more elegant. The canal is not navigable past here, so I have gathered my gear to walk down to the lifeboat search and rescue station. SARA's inshore lifeboat and water rescue station at Sharpness covers the Severn Estuary and River Severn north of the M4 bridges to just upstream of Gloucester. These are treacherous tidal waters with fast flowing currents, many sandbanks and mudbanks, and a tidal range of more than 10 metres. Beyond the lifeboat station is an interesting waterfall. Several times when we have been here, the water actually flows back up the waterfall. It's caused by the wind blowing up the dock and forcing the water skyward. Further on, and you can look out over the estuary and towards the Severn Bridges. It's a stunning location and a thoroughly enjoyable paddle.